Good morning, everyone. I, C. Anchit Agarwal, Chairman, Jhansi Branch of CIRC of ICI, on behalf of the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICI, welcome all the participants in today's webcast on Art of Financial Data Analysis and Storytelling using Power BI for Chartered Accountants. I welcome today's resource person, CA Alok Sethi sir, the event enablers from the Jhansi branch of CIRC of the ICI, and I would now like to call upon C.S. Sagratri sir to please give an introduction of the speaker.
Thank you, Anchit sir. It is a pleasure for me to introduce the speaker for today, CA Alok Sethi sir. He is a highly accomplished corporate
sir and Vice Chairman Sir Samit sir and
Vice Chairman K. Sripriya ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
And
Vice
the
Chairman.
secretary to the committee only, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Fine. So, with respect to all the dignitaries, chairman, vice chairman, and secretary, and all the branch who are involved in this session, thank you for having me again. This is the third time that I am now delivering on this stage, and I'm happy to say that this committee is doing a wonderful job of connecting the professionals with the latest skill set which is required. On the earlier sessions, we talked about public speaking using AI tool, and in the previous session, we talked about technical skills which are required for 2025. And today, yet another session on technology, which is art of storytelling, financial storytelling using Power BI. So let me tell you that this is the subject which is very close to my heart, and which is the need of the hour also. And I've been delivering on various forums and various platforms on this topic, which is Power BI. And I am thankful to the Institute again for taking up this session and having me here. So, guys, members, very good afternoon. And this is the last Monday of this year, 2024, 30th December. We are all marching towards 2025. So, with this note, I would like to just tell you that technology is increasing or improving at a rampant speed, and that is how we should update our knowledge, and we should keep learning new things. And with this era of digital transformation and AI taking place, I always say that when I talk about Power BI, there are three types of intelligence. One is human intelligence, HI, human intelligence, that we all have, and that is how we have cleared our chartered accountancy and the most toughest examination. And here the institute had declared the result 2 days back, and I would like to congratulate all the new young chartered accountants who have cleared in this time. 10 11,500 new CAs have joined our fraternity and made our family bigger. So now, moving to 2025, it is very much important to enhance your technological skills and talk about and learn the latest technologies, so that we can march towards the traditional practice, from the traditional practice to the modern practice, using the modern infrastructure. So I talked about human intelligence. Human intelligence is always supreme. AI can never replace the human intelligence. So one is human intelligence. Second is artificial intelligence, which is AI, which everyone is talking about. It has become a talk of the town, or you can say the buzzword nowadays, AI. If you're not using AI, or if you're not learning AI, you might have that feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out, that you're not learning something. But many people are not very aware of this technology, which is Power BI. Okay, now what is BI? BI is business intelligence. Okay, so as a professional, what we are doing is we are helping the industry, we are helping our clients in meeting their compliances, in setting up their startup, in setting up their companies. We play a very important role in building the nation, right? By helping the industry or the entrepreneurs of this country, not only in this country, even globally also. So now we can call ourselves as a global accountants or global chartered accountants because there is no boundaries which is there now, and it has not been there earlier also. But yes, nowadays a lot of global opportunities are open for chartered accountants. One of the opportunity is visualization and data analysis. Now, why it is not a new thing? It was already there in the past also, but why it has become very much important? Because the speed at which the data is growing. Okay, I'll be walking you through the importance of it and how to actually start learning and using Power BI. We'll cover this into our this 2 hour session. It is basically not a theoretical session, it is a practical session where I will be taking you to the intricacies of Power BI and helping you understand how, as a chartered accountant, we can use it. So, before I start and before I keep talking about the subject, here is a question that I would like to ask all. Okay, now it is a webinar format, and I know that there is a limitation that people cannot reply here. But those who are viewing this, I get a lot of messages after this session. Those who are connected with me, they share their feedback, and I'm happy that I'm able to contribute to your knowledge. And institute is doing this with this community. So those who are watching it online, you can just reply to yourself, okay? And I think that reply will come to me. So this is a question: how many of you are using this phone? Okay, so if you see the image of Nokia phone is flashed on the screen. Okay, and if I ask you, how many of you are using this phone? Okay, now I think I have some co-participant. If they are listening, can you reply, sir, in the chat? Are you using this phone? Yes or no, we simply need to put, or you can unmute and answer also. But are we using this phone? The answer probably is no. No one is using a Nokia phone. Maybe you have kept one at your disposal, but you're not using it right now. Correct? But if I ask you, have you ever used this phone? Then your answer would be definitely yes. This is the phone we used it in the past, and this is probably the first phone that we ever used. For me, it was my first phone when I started my CA career, and I was in Mumbai, studying for it, right? But why, what happened that Nokia phone no one is using nowadays, and the company is also not there in existence? It was the leading top player in the world, and Nokia had a tagline that connecting people. But people have disconnected Nokia. They are not connected with Nokia now. What is the reason? The only reason is because Nokia did not update itself. It did not upgrade itself. It went to a different zone. It integrated Windows and tried to come up with Windows Phone, which was a massive failure. When the world was moving to Android technology, and they were shifting to Android and making touch phones or more powerful phones, Nokia did not do that. And that is why the reason that it did not sustain that competition and it faded out. The point I want to make here is very simple. Okay, so what is the point? I think all of you would be knowing that we are not using this phone. So what we have done, since phone is essential for communication, we cannot imagine our life without a phone, right? So what we have done, we have already discussed why we're not using this phone, because it is not updated, it is outdated technology, and we want smart technology. And now what we have done, so we have updated to what? We have updated to a iPhone, or maybe a Samsung or a Oppo or a Vivo, which is a very updated technology they are using, and kind of infrastructure, the facilities we get, definitely people have migrated to a better phone, right? Now let's talk about this. Why we need to update? Because if we don't update, our clients also will migrate to someone or move to someone who is updated, who is using the latest technology, right? So if you want that your client should stay with you and you can bring some value addition to do, first we need to have that value addition in ourselves. We need to have that skill set in ourselves which can commensurate with the size of the business, with the technologies used nowadays. And that is how this session is going to help you in understanding how learning Power BI can be an edge in your professional career. Now, let me ask you one more question. What do you see on the screen now? So we all see us on the screen, potato. Okay. When I conduct physical sessions and I have people around me and members around, some of the members also call it, sir, we see gold. Okay. Just the only thing is that we don't have that machine which can convert the potato into a gold, as pointed out by our, you know what who I'm talking about, right? But this is a potato. This is a raw potato, right? This is a raw potato. Now, why I'm showing you this image? Because I have a question coming forward. And the question is, can you consume what you just saw? So if I ask you, if I give you a raw potato, can you consume a raw potato? So what would be your answer? You would think, sir, are you joking? Are you kidding? How can we consume a raw potato? Yes, absolutely, you're right. So your answer would be definitely a big no. Your answer would be a definitely big no. You cannot consume a raw potato, right? Now, what if I show you something and then ask the same question? What about this? French fries? Or what about mirchi bada? The people who are from Rajasthan, maybe a burger or a paratha. Okay, so I'm giving you different options now. Lunch is, we have some time for the lunch, right? But still, so if I offer you that, can you consume all this? So what would be your answer now? Your answer would be yes, definitely we can consume and would like to consume all of it, or maybe some at some particular point of time. But what changed in the previous image and in this image? So what changed in the previous in this image is, what was the difference between this and before? The difference is it is processed. It is processed. What you see earlier was never processed. A raw potato was a raw potato. You cannot consume something which is raw, which is not cooked, which is not baked, which is not having some flavors or masala or eatable, right? When we put some ingredients, we do a processing and then it is available for eating or consuming, right? So now, similarly, you have to look at this data. And if I ask you the same question, when you look at this data, which is the Excel sheet data, it's the sales data of a company. And if I ask you the same question, can you consume this data? Can you take out some meaningful information from this data? What would be your answer? Your answer would be no. So this data doesn't look very clean. There are some hash you can see. The date is not visible. The sales also sometimes it is not visible. We can see different segments are there, different categories are there, which is segment, country, product. But if I ask you specific questions like what is the sale in a particular country, what is the sale in a particular segment, what is the sale in a particular year, what is the profit last year as compared to this year? Have we improved or not improved? Are you able to give answer to these questions? The answer is no. Probably you are not able to answer this question. Then what is the need? Do we need to know about all this as a CA, as an advisor to your client, as a catalyst in his success? If you are able to present him his own data in a form of visuals, wherein he can just look at the data, look at the picture, and he's able to take some meaningful decisions based on what you are presenting to him, won't that be making a big difference or a big value addition in what he is doing and how he is doing? Because as a chartered accountants, we are not only a legal consultant or a arm wherein we are helping people in doing their day-to-day litigations or day-to-day written filing or like that compliances. Rather than that, now people are looking for us, looking at us as a consultant. They want us to give suggestions as to what stream of business they should do, how they should expand their business, to what segments they should venture into, what product they should sell more, and what product they should discontinue. All these decision making we have learned in costing by studying marginal costing, standard costing. But do we apply that in practice? Maybe only few 10, 15, 20% people are doing it, those who are into consultancy. But I see most of the people who are doing it, most of the CAs who are doing it, they are a part of big firms. Okay. And now our PM has also come up with a vision that India should have its own big fours. Why should we rely on the big fours of outside the world, right? So we should build those firms which can do a good consultancy business with the clients. And consultancy starts with when you are able to process the data which the client is giving you in such a format that whatever reports you are showing it to him, he is able to take good decisions based on those reports. And that is where Power BI can make a huge difference. Okay, if you can see this visual, okay, so now this data is a visual representation of this Excel format. Okay, so what I've done is I've converted this into visuals, and you can see this is all done in Excel so far, but the same thing we can replicate in Power BI as well. Why I'm taking a reference of Excel over here, because Excel is something which we use as a chartered accountant and have been using since we started our articleship, right? But to what extent people use Excel or technology, that is to be questioned here, that we have to answer from ourselves. Are we using it to that extent that we can create something out of it, which is not required by the statute, but which is required by the business? So if you tell the business that, see, your current year sale is this much, your previous year sale is this much, so there is a year-on-year growth of 15%, and then you can click on different tabs over here and you can see the segment wise, category wise, region wise sales and compare them over the year, and you can see some visual graphical representation here also. Now, does that sound interesting? If this much what you are seeing looks interesting, then the journey ahead is far more interesting, let me tell you. Okay, so here I'm going to introduce you to the world of Power BI. Okay, and this is an application which is developed by Microsoft way back in the year 2013, and now today, at the virtue of closer of 2024, almost a decade from 2023, we are talking and learning about this Power BI, but this tool was already there into existence. Okay, but the sooner the better, the day you realize that you have to change, or that is the best day. Okay, so I don't remember the author, but someone said that there are two important days in the life of a human being. One day when you are born, that is the most important day, so we celebrate that day as a birthday. What is the next day, which is the most important day in the life of a human person, is the day when you realize that what is the purpose of your life. That is the second most important day in your life, when you realize why you're born, what do you want to do, what is the exact purpose that you want to fulfill for the people around you. And that is what may way much beyond just by looking at that I want to become a CA, or I want to become a CEO, or I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, or I want to be the top 10 influential person in the world. The purpose is far more beyond. So if people are watching this today and you have joined this session, let me congratulate you that you're on the right purpose of upskilling yourself. And this is why this session is there, and I'm helping you in that. And I'm fortunate that I'm able to make a difference in the life of the people in whatever small ways I can do. So what is Power BI? So Power BI helps you in looking into your data and get some insights from any data. That means that data can come from any source. It can be in any structure. Power BI will accept it, will refine it, and will present the data into a meaningful format in the form of visuals. So turning data into a business advantage. That is why it is having the term business. It is all to do with a business intelligence, because nowadays we have to do everything intelligently, and we have artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the human intelligence fed into the machine. It is a real intelligence that is artificially provided to the machine so that the machine can take the decisions which the human can take. And why we are doing it, why we are relying on AI, or why we are using AI? Because we have limited time. And that time we want to spend in the core areas of work which the machine cannot do. So we are giving all the tasks, which is a routine task, which is operational task, to machine, so that machine can focus on the routine areas and automate it. And we can focus our time on the core areas of working so that we can increase our skills, we can improve on our skills, and we can cater to that segment which actually needs our intervention. So the world of data is changing, and you can see a lot of data types are coming. Data is increasing at the 10x speed over the 5 years. 85% of data coming from new data type. Now you just scan a QR code and you get all the information. Now through this webinar also, you must have come by just putting the QR code, just scanning the QR code and getting registered, and you are watching this webinar, right? Similarly, a lot of data is there. Now what institute will come to know that how many people have watched this session, how many people are more interested in doing this. So similarly, when you also look into the business, your data of your client, you can guide him in taking better decisions. And when he is able to scale up, you also scale up in your business. You are able to put a good fees to him. You can charge a professional fees for helping him visualize his data. But for doing that, we should have that skill first, right? So a new powerful way to work with data. So everyone has already worked with Excel, and Excel has a power, a capability which can help many people in doing a lot of data analytics in Excel, coupled with Python now. So Python is the language which is used to create codes, or you can create small softwares using that language. And now that is integrated with Excel. So you can say that Excel has become more powerful. But what is more powerful than Excel is Power BI. Okay. And let me tell you that Power BI, you don't have to do any investment. Is it freely available on my office website? You can download it, you can use it, and you can share the report with the client. But when you have to share it on a real-time basis, or you want the client to access on a real-time basis, as the data updates, the report also get updated. Then for that purpose, you have to buy a subscription. You have to take a subscription, because then you are taking a special service of Power BI. So that we'll talk later on. But let me explain you what Power BI does and how it does. And then we will have a practical feel of how to work with Power BI. Okay. So first, I am building a base, a fundamental, so that you understand what is Power BI and why you need to learn it. And secondly, we will see how easy or how difficult it is to learn Power BI, and rather how we can use it in our day-to-day work. Is it only for those persons who are doing data analytics or who are doing consultancy, or it is for everyone who as a member is practicing or is serving any industry or doing any other work? Let me tell you, everyone can use Power BI for whatever purpose they want to use. So it is just a tool. We have to understand how we are going to use that tool in our business sense. So when we talk about analysis, it is a 4-step process, which you can see on the screen also. It is DAVE. Now, what I do is to make it easy and to make it relatable and to make people remember it, I connect it with Bollywood movie. And I know every one of us from India and even people who are from outside India, and they have their roots in India. Everyone is connected with Bollywood, right? So I'll just take a reference of one Bollywood movie. I'll borrow a reference from Bollywood and I'll come back to this session again. So I'm going deviating here and relating it to the context that in Bollywood, we must have seen that movie Dhadkan, okay, which has Sunil Shetty and Shilpa Shetty and Akshay Kumar, right? And Shilpa Shetty, no name everyone remember, right? She was Anjali, and Sunil Shetty was Dev, and Akshay Kumar was Ram. So I'll just replicate one scene, and then I'll tell you the reason why I am bringing Bollywood and this movie all this year, so you'll be able to connect. So in that scene, Dev is a very poor fellow and he falls in love with Anjali, and Anjali then happens to meet a richer fellow, which is Ram, which is Akshay Kumar. And then she decides to go and settle with Ram rather than Dev. And Dev is very poor, so he takes a revenge. Just to take a revenge, he becomes very much rich, and he work hard and all these things, right? And then he comes to meet Anjali, and then Anjali says, now I belong to Ram, so you just forget me. Okay. So Anjali says, tum mujhe bhul jao. And then Sunil Shetty says that Anjali, तुम मुझे भूल जाओ, ये हो नहीं सकता, और मैं तुम्हें भुला दूं, ये मैं होने नहीं दूंगा. So it's something like that. So why we are taking the reference of Dave over here? And because I want you to remember Power BI and me and this PSEC and then ICI to helping you in upskilling your skills, right? And why I have taken the reference of Dev over here, because DEV is a Hindi word, Dev, which means God, right? But Dev went to US, and when he returned back, he renamed himself, and then now he started calling himself Dave, DAVE. Okay, so I'm just scribbling this on the screen. I'm just typing this word Dave, DAVE here. Okay, and then I will give you a relationship of this word with what I want to explain. So D stands for discovery. It is a 4-step process we have to do when we do data analysis, because this session is all about data storytelling, data analysis, cleaning our data, preparing our data so that we can do analysis over here, right? So can Tally help us do that? No. Tally is just an application, it's just software, accounting software, which helps you in recording your transaction and then producing some reports. But can we do analysis? We can do a limited analysis from Tally by having some ratio analysis and all this. But yes, when you use Excel or when you use Power BI, you can do a lot of analysis. So this DAVE stands for D. D stands for discover. First, you have to discover what your data is. You have to understand the quality of the data, the columns in the data, the headers, the kind of data it is. It is a sales data, or it is a production data, or it's a marketing data, or it's a financial data. We need to understand that. Then once we are able to understand, okay, my data has different segments, my data has different countries, my data has different period, then we can start analyzing the crucial data. Okay, the crucial, when we talk about crucial information or the figures to CEO, what are the two important figures? Anyone? What are the two important figures the CEO looks at? So we can say at the top line and the bottom line. The top line is the sales figure, the turnover, and the bottom line is the profit. So we can just stick to these two elements right now, profit and sales. Okay, because the more turnover you have, that means it shows that you are growing. And if you have more profit, that means you are sustainable also. Nowadays, we are talking about sustainable businesses. So if you are able to sustain and have profits, then you can become a bigger company, or you can sustain forever, right? For long. So first you discover the data, then you do analysis. Once you do analysis, you find out various figures, information, ratios. Then it is time to visualize it. Visually, when we put anything visually, it is more appealing or more easy to comprehend as compared to the textual information, right? So if I have text all on my slides, you'll not be able to comprehend what I'm saying, but I've supported it with the images. So you can see the image has some graphs, charts, and all. So that is how we visualize the data. And then once we have visualized the data, then we go on an exploration. We find out what we can do with the data, how we can use that information. If we find that in one country the sales are not improving, how we can work on that. If we can see that the product is doing good in a particular country, we can maybe increase the production in that country and sales in that country or that segment. So this is how Dave process helps us in visualizing. So this same process we can do in Excel. We can create a dashboard in Excel also by creating pivot tables and then slicers and headers and all these things, right? We can create a dynamic dashboard, but the same process is much more easier when we talk about Power BI. Okay, so Power BI helps you in combining the power of Excel with other things. Not only Excel that the data is coming from. Nowadays, the data is coming from SAP, the data is coming from Tally, the data is coming from Oracle, the data is coming from SQL, or maybe some other cloud accounting software like Zoho, QuickBooks, and all. So Power BI has a power of integrating with more than 150 applications, and it can pull the data from there and help you visualize it and showcase it to the client on a web browser, which anyone can access, right? So you can share, you can ask question. Power BI has inbuilt AI, wherein you just type the question in the human natural language interface, and it can give you the charts. It can populate the figures to you, and it is mobile. You can use Power BI on your mobile also. It is a free application which you can download. You can log into your account, and whatever reports you have created through your account, you will be able to see the reports. So now the CEO can have the update on his business on the go while he's traveling. while he's attending some meeting, he can just simply see what's the update are. So that is why this is getting importance nowadays, and everyone is after Power BI. There are many other tools also, Tableau and Google Analytics, but yes, Power BI holds a very large stake or share. So this is what I was talking about: Dave, discover, analyze, visualize, and explore. Okay, so we are going to do this process, and I'm going to show you how this actually applies when we talk about Power BI and when we use Power BI. So what is the limitation? One limitation of Excel, you can say, the Excel biggest limitation you can see is the amount of data it can handle. And how many rows Excel has? It has nearly exactly 10,48,576 rows. That means 1 million row. So you can just analyze 1 million row of data in Excel. But in Power BI, you can analyze 100 million rows of data also by creating different models, by pulling the data from different applications like SQL, Oracle, databases, your LinkedIn, your Zoho books, your anything. So all the big corporates, all the big MNCs, all the big companies who have their business all around the world, they use Power BI for their data analysis. And the persons who are able to create the dashboard, the reports, they are also get paid very happily because they are helping the owners or the CEO or the CFO take routine decisions based on the visualization. So you can have some different charts like this. What you cannot get in Excel, you can get in Power BI, like this map, the country-wise map. You can populate the sales for different regions, different cities, different states, and you can see which state is giving you how much revenue and all these things. So with this, now let us move to the demo. Let us move to the practical aspect of using Power BI, and let's explore it. Okay, so first I'll help you understanding how you can start with Power BI. So I'm just sharing my browser window now. And on my browser, I'll just show you how you can download Power BI and how can you use it, because there will be many people who are new to this application, who has never ever worked on Power BI, never downloaded Power BI. So firstly, I will help you with how you can easily download and install Power BI. And secondly, once you download and install Power BI, how we can work on it. So I'm sharing my screen again. I hope my Google browser is visible to everyone. Okay. And now what you need to simply do is you just need to type Power BI desktop. Okay. So the first link that you see when you type Power BI desktop download, why we are sticking to desktop? Because there is one more version, which is Power BI Service, which is a cloud-based application. So to start with, it is better to download the desktop version and use it because it has much more functionality than the cloud version. But you can quickly download it. There is no requirement to create any sign up or to create an account. If you have an account, that is okay, that is good. Even if you do not have an account, you will be able to download it. So once you click on download, it will give you two options: the Power BI desktop setup or the 64x. So 34-bit or 64-bit. Mostly now, since we are using updated system, it is 64-bit. You can select and you can start downloading. When you click on download, it will download a patch file, exe file, and that you can run and you can install. Since I had already downloaded Power BI and I'm using it already, I will quickly open the application and show you. So when you open your Windows, when you open your menu in the window, and when you type Power BI, okay, Power, you will see PowerPoint. PowerPoint is the default application for presentation, which is already there in everyone's system. So you will see. Then I have Power Apps also. I have Power BI also. I have Power Center repository. That is another application. But this Power BI is a yellow color bar icon. It has three bars in the ascending order, placed in the ascending order, and then you click on it, and now we'll be able to open Power BI application. So when we are able to open Power BI application, we will work. I will just take you to how you can use it. Okay. So now this is the window which you can see on my screen, which is the opening window you can see when you open Power BI. This is the home screen that you see. It has some buttons on the left, like home, open. On the center, it has the option of select a data source or start with the blank report. So eventually what we will do is, what is this application doing? So when we use Excel also, so I'm taking the example of Excel because everyone is familiar with Excel. When we open Excel, we can create reports, we can have some data, we can read it, we can convert into PDF and all these things, right? So when we open Power BI also, Power BI is just a tool which will help you in visualizing your data, but the data has to be fetched to Power BI. Okay, so we have to start and with a database. Now, since there will be many people who would be interested in learning this, how to use this, what I will be doing is I will be starting with the sample data. So Power BI has a sample data inbuilt in it. We will use the same sample data, and with that data, I'll help you in understanding and making you understand how you can create different reports. So once you're able to create different reports and we'll build a small dashboard, because in 1 hour session, we cannot do much beyond that. But yes, through this session, you will be able to understand how to use and get started with Power BI. Once you get that confidence, then it will take around 30 to 40 hours of dedicated learning, okay, through which you will be able to master this application, this tool. And then after that, once you are able to do it, you can take data from any server like SQL, your Tally, or anything, and you can connect to that data source and work on that data source, right? So let me start with by clicking on Learn with Sample Data. So as I told you, that Power BI has inbuilt data source, which is a very good data source. It's the same data source which I showed you in my presentation, right? And we will load this sample data. So it will connect to that sample data. It is basically an Excel file. The data is into an Excel file. So when you import the data from Excel also, it will show you the same page. So you will see a page called as Navigator. Now what Navigator will do? Navigator will help you in selecting what part of data you want to analyze. Suppose I want to do analysis of the stock market and I want to create a report for myself that whatever stocks I am taking, I'm able to see some ratios which is not available on or Money Control or any other site, BSC, NSE, or maybe if it is available, but I want to have a customized report for myself, I can pull the data from the web also. I'll show it in the end. But right now, let us concentrate on this data. So I have selected financial. There are two tables. One is a table, one is a sheet. Both the elements have the same data. So if I select financials, you can see the data here. When I click on sheet, you will see the same data. So the data is segment, country, product, discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price, gross sales, discount sales, COGS, profit, date. So it is a sales data. We can see that it is a sales data, right? Now, for this webinar and wherever I start with Power BI, I start introducing Power BI to any participant who is new to Power BI. This is the same data source I've been using and it is a globally used data source. Okay, so it is a sample data. If you look at the sample data, you will get to see the same data source, which is globally used. So we are working on something, a global data, which is used globally, right? And then with this data set, I'll show you how you can use this to create reports, which will be updated automatically. And we will just have to click on different buttons to do that. Now, when you select the data, you have three options. One is the load. Second one is transform data. Third is cancel. So ideally, what we should do is once we are importing any data from any database, we would like to understand whether data is clean or not. Or do I need to do any modification? Am I supposed to create any new columns or update the data or enhance the data so that I can use it for visualization or MIS reporting? So I'll click on transform data. So as I click on transform data, I will be migrated. I'll be shifted to a new application, which is called as Power Query. Now, when I say Power Query, this would be a alien word to you or a new source to you. And maybe those who are techno friendly chartered accountants, those who are already using technology, it might be a new, not be a new word to you, right? So Power Query, but let me tell you, Power Query is way more powerful than Excel. Sometime people ask me, sir, can you help us how we can, what software we should learn, or what all technology we should learn? And the previous session, maybe it is available now on the YouTube. So that was that about that only. That session talked about various technology chartered accountant should equip himself with. So just to repeat, just to give you an idea on that, the first thing that you should learn is Excel. Now people say Excel we are already using, we already know Excel. What you are talking about when you say learn Excel? So I've been an Excel trainer over the years and I've gone to many places. Even I've delivered session online globally to various global participants who are from Australia, Canada, UK, US, UAE. People don't know Excel really. They just know 10 to 15% of Excel shortcut keys, some formulas, and we think we know Excel. Excel is much more vast. I also cannot say that I know Excel to the core and 100% about it. I just know 30-40% Excel which I've used and which is actually needed. But apart from Excel, first you should master Excel. You should move Excel to that extent. You should use it to that extent that it is creating everything automatically. And I know people who are doing very good in Excel. So first thing is that. Secondly, once you have proficiency in Excel and some advanced level knowledge of Excel, then you should learn Power Query. Power Query helps you in combining your data, cleaning your data, doing some calculations, which is not possible to a certain extent in Excel, which makes it easy in Power Query. Once you understand Power Query, then you should begin with Power BI and other applications. And once you are comfortable with all this, then you should move to the coding aspect, which is SQL, Python. These two languages, if you want to go into data analytics and you want to try your luck in the technological, in the fintech side, see finance, you already know. If we support our finance knowledge with technology, we will become a ninja. We will become the world most powerful resource one should look for, which is the CA with the fintech knowledge or with the technology knowledge, right? So now we should become technical CAs or technically skilled equipped CAs, right? So this is the path I have just shared with you. Now let us come back to Power Query and let me show what Power Query can do and how it is different from Excel. Although you will see it, you will have the same look and feel, because even this Power Query editor, it is a product of Microsoft. So it is a part of the Microsoft family. So all the Microsoft product are look similar. Your Excel, your Power BI, your Power Query, PowerPoint, Outlook, but they have different purpose and they have different use case, right? So what Power Query is used for? Power Query editor. So basically, it is going to edit what you already have, right? And what we have is a data. Now, if you want to do any changes in the data, I'll just show you some examples and then we will go back to Power BI and I'll show you some Power BI skills also. But let me take 15 minutes on Power Query itself, just to make you understand what Power Query can do, which can be done in Excel also, but in a much easier format. See, many people get confused why we have to learn so many technologies or why we have to simply update ourselves. The point is that time is money. Everyone knows that time is money. And what we are trading in our profession is time only. We don't have any product to sell. We don't sell any products, right? We just sell our time. And if you value your time and you value the time of the other person whom you are talking to, then you will understand that you should, whatever time you are trading off with the client, it should bring more value to the both the parties. Your time is also valuable, his time also is valuable. And are you doing justice to the time that you are devoting with the client? Are you giving some new reports, new feedback, new mechanism to the client? Are you helping him update his work culture. If you are doing it, then congratulate yourself. You are doing a great job. If you are not doing it, then take it as a resolution for the year 2025 that you will invest some part of your day in upskilling yourself, learning some new things so that you can apply it in your practice. And in return, you will increase the efficiency that you work with, which will eventually help you in creating a value for yourself, and your time that you are investing would be valuable for yourself as well as your client. And that is the formula to multiply your earning, because we all aspire to have good fortune in 2025 by doing some good business, by coming in contact with good people, and to get more business, to make more money. And that money can come only when you have learnings. So we want to earn more, but how many learn more? So you have to put that L, you have to keep that L intact in your schedule. The more you learn, the more you can earn. So that was a suggestion and a piece of advice for everyone, right? Now, coming back to Power Query. So what you will see is it is having the headers, which is segment, country, product, discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price, sales price, gross sales, discount sales, COGS, profit, date, month number, month name, and year. So these three columns are basically a division of this date into month number
Hello, sir.
and year.
Hello, sir. Your Chrome screen is visible. Please share your current screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So is my current screen visible
Yes, sir.
now? Okay. So I'll just walk you through how I got into this screen, because you might have missed that. So this is the Power BI window. Okay. When you open the Power BI application, you will see this window. Okay. You will see the Power BI window. What I have done, I have taken the data from the dummy data, which is a data which is already there. I'll just quickly close this and I'll open it again for you. So I'm opening Power BI now. So when we open Power BI, it will have its own database. Okay. So we will work with the sample data, which is already there in Power BI. And from that sample data, I'm going to show you how you can build reports. So see, this is the first window that you see. I hope my Power BI window is now visible. Can you confirm? Is my Power BI screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now from the Power BI window, we are going to select learn with sample data. When we click on learn with sample data, it will load its internal database, which is a Excel report basically. And we will get to the screen, which is navigator. Okay, so now it is connecting with the database, and we are going to go to the navigator, which will help us select what type of data we want to analyze. So here I am selecting the financial, it is a table. Okay. And now I'll click on transform data. So it is a globally used data for learning analysis, whether it is with Excel or Power BI, right? So now we are moved to Power Query Editor. Okay. So I just want to make sure that Power Query Editor window is now visible. Tech support, can you confirm that also? Is my Power Query window visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
By the editor.
Thank you. Okay, so we are in sync now. Yesterday I did sorry, in the previous moment I did not share my entire screen. Now my entire screen is shared, so you'll be able to see what exactly I'm working on. So this is the Power Query Editor. It has the same feature as Excel, but it is more powerful. I'll show you how. So now let's talk about the data. It is segment, country, product, discount band. So it is a sales data of any e-commerce company, you can say, which is selling across the globe, different products in different segments and different discount bands they're offering. So these first four columns are what we call as qualitative data. Okay. So I'll just put it on the screen. I'll just type it here so that we can just quickly remember some of the terms qualitative data. So this data, I will call it as a qualitative data because it is going to talk about the quality of the data or the categorization of the data. So these 4 columns, the first 4 columns are qualitative data. Then the remaining columns are quantitative data. Right? So this bifurcation is needed for us to move further. So one is the qualitative data, the other one is the quantitative data, right? So the units sold manufacturing price, sales price, gross sales, discount, net sales, COGS profit. These are all quantitative data. Again, the date is a qualitative data. Now, once we know this bifurcation, now what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to do some cleaning. Okay, so I'll just show you some of the tricks in Power Query. Then I'll go back to Power BI and show you how to create some basic charts and graphs over there. Okay. So if you see in the country, there is a word which is there is a country which is United States of America. Now all the country is occupying a small space, but USA, United States of America, is occupying a big space. Now what I want to do is I want to replace the United States of America with USA so that it narrows down my speed, my space. So when the space is less, the data will be processed faster. So this is how we need to think, right? Now, how will I do this? So those who are prominent in Excel or those who knows the Excel shortcut keys and all, you can say, sir, we can use a replace option over here, Control H, and we can type find what United States of America and replace it with USA, right? So this is what we do in Excel. Now, the same thing we'll do here. So in the home tab, this is the ribbon, this is called as a ribbon. In the ribbon, you will see a section called as transform. And in the transform section, I will click on replace values. So I'll click on replace values. When you click on replace values, what it is going to do is it is going to replace. Okay. Now, since I've selected the entire column, it is not picking the value which I want to replace. So what I'll do is I'll just select United States of America. Now let me click on replace values. So now you see that value to find, it is already finding, it is already taking United States of America. Now I want to replace it with USA. And let me tell you, it is a 700 rows data. Okay. And in 700 rows, some 70 times USA would be coming. So I want all the places where United States of America is coming, it should be replaced with USA. Now let us click on OK. Okay. So within a fraction of seconds, the task is done. And now you see that wherever there was United States of America, it is now USA everywhere. I'll just show you that it is now USA. So I filtered on USA and there were 140 rows of data wherein United States of America is now USA. This is one change which I did. Now, how I did not write any formula. I did not do any calculation. I just simply used the feature of replace values by clicking on it and just defining it. Secondly, if you see this ABC is coming, ABC, 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 what is this? This is the data type. So Power Query defines your data. So these are all textual data. That is why it is showing ABC. Now, if we come to the 5th column, which is units sold, you will see units sold is having 1.2 as a notation. Manufacturing price is 1.123. Sale price is 123. Gross sales also has 1.2. Now, what does this 1.2 means? When I click on it, you will see it is a decimal number. And you can see that the units are represented in decimal. Now, if we are selling any product which is sold in units in whole numbers, we cannot have 0.5 or decimal as a value over there. So what we will do is we will convert this into a whole number. So to convert into a whole number, I will just click on 123 whole number. As I click on 123 whole number, you see that the data is also changed now. So it is showing 123. Now same thing I want to do with my other columns. I don't want that decimals to come. So what I'm doing is I'm just keeping the hold of shift key, okay, and I'm converting everything into a whole number. I'm just clicking on 1.2 and I'll select 1, 2, 3, and now it will be converted to a whole number. Okay, so you need to just keep the control key also pressed so that it can simultaneously apply the same setting to all the numbers, all the columns. So now you see the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. That means all the columns are now converted into 1, 2, 3. So now we have converted to whole numbers. Okay, now this is simple. This Excel can also do, right? Now, whatever we are doing, I'll just show you one more thing. So in this database, I want to do an analysis, but in this database, we do not have a column, which is a gross profit column, okay, or a net profit column. We do not have that column. So what I want to do is I want to create a column which will tell me what is the profit percentage or profit ratio I'm earning from each sale. So what I'll do is I will add a new column, which is add column. Okay. And I want to add a new column to this data. Now, can I add a new row data? If you ask me, if I go to the last row, you will see the row number is 700. Okay. And how do I come to know 700? Because at the bottom of the screen, you can see 700, but it shows just 50 or 100 rows at one go. So I have to keep scrolling to get to the last row. Okay. But once I go to the last row, if I have to add any row, it is not possible because it is not the original data. Okay. Whenever whatever data source you're connecting to, whenever any data is updated in that data source, it will automatically get populated over here. But I cannot insert any row. I can remove the rows. Yes, I can remove a row. I can remove a column. I can add columns, but I cannot add any rows. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a column and I'm going to show you how you can add a new column. So we are going to add a column which will have the net profit percentage. So I will take it as a custom column. Custom column means we will define a formula. Okay. So I'm going to call it as net profit ratio, or we can say percentage. Okay. So net profit percentage. And what we are going to do is we are going to say that it is, how do I calculate the net profit? Profit divided by sales. So I'll just select profit, double click on it, and I will divide it by sales. So profit divided by sales. So it is showing no syntax error. That means it is clean. And now I'll click on OK. As I click on OK, you will see that the net profit is now coming into decimal. But we want it to come into percentage. We don't want it to come into decimal. We want it to come to percentage. So what we will do is we will see here it is showing the type as ABC123. It is showing the type as ABC123. I'll click here and I'll convert into percentage. Okay. So since we are doing on a remote basis, it's a virtual session. I'll just repeat what I did. I added a new column, and whatever I have been doing so far into Power Query, all my steps are listed over here. So first I changed the column type. If you remember, I changed the column type of these decimals to whole numbers. So it is showing here. I added a new custom column, which is the NP column, and there is a formula behind this column. But we don't have to remember this formula. We don't have to look into the logic. But if someone is interested in learning how this is working, we can say this, that it is table.add column, and it is showing this change type NP ratio for each row, profit divided by sales. And that is why that is how we have got this. And then we converted this into a percentage. So we change the type of the column to this. Okay. So now with this, let us proceed to further with the data. So I have created these steps. I have added a column. I have changed the type. Okay, just a minute, I think. Okay, fine. So I'll just do it one more time and I'll add a column and custom column. In the custom column, I will say net profit percentage, net profit ratio, or we can say percentage. And here I will say profit. I can type also. So I'll say profit divide by sales. So this is why, because I want to do an analysis, profit divided by sales. I'll click on OK. So this is the new column. I'll change this to percentage. Correct. Now this we can do in Excel also. Now one more thing I'll do a small example and then we'll move to Power BI. Okay, we'll import this data into Power BI. So we'll add one more column, which is a conditional column. Now this is where our analytical brain should work. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm giving a new dimension to the data and I'm saying whatever units the company have sold, I'm categorizing that units into 3 categories. So I'll say lot size. And I will call it as small lot, medium lot, and large lot based on the unit sold range. Okay. Now, if I look at the unit column, if you look at the unit sold column, it is basically having the numbers from 200 and the last number is 4492. So the units sold are ranging from 200 to 4500 approximately. So what we will do is we will add a column. And I'm just creating some conditions over here. So it is a conditional column. So something similar to if function in Excel. Okay, but we don't have to write any function. This is the beauty about Power Query and Power BI. So I'll call it as a lot size. Okay, and I want to understand how the customers are placing orders. So what column I want to apply this on? I want to apply on units sold. And I'll say if the units sold is greater than 4,000. If the lot size is more than 4,000, I want to call it as a large lot. Okay. Add clause. If the unit sold is greater than 2,000, then I want to call it as a medium lot. Else, I want to call it as a small lot. Okay. So this is for the purpose of our analysis. We can have many factors. Okay. So here you see in a fraction of second, it automatically wrote the formula over here. I don't have to write this. Basically, I'll tell you this is a MASH language, AM language, which Power Query uses. We don't have to learn this language, but we should know the logic. So the logic is if the unit sold is more than 4,000, then categorize them as large. If the unit sold is between 2,000 and 4,000, categorize them as medium. And wherever the unit sold is less than 2,000, categorize them as a small lot. And this is textual. So I'll just convert this to ABC type. Now, if you want to test, you can see that the first two are small and the third one is medium. So let us look at the unit sold. So the units sold in the first two cases are between 2,000 and 4,000. Sorry, less than 2,000. So it is a small lot, and 4,000 to 2,000, 2,000 and 4,000 is a medium lot. And if I see a unit size which is more than 4,000, let's say here, this one. So this should be categorized as a large lot. Now let's see if it is coming as a large lot. Yes, it is coming as a large lot. Correct. And similarly, we have the net profit also. Now, if you look at the net profit column, let me sort it in the ascending order. You will see some negatives also. So there are some negatives and there are some positives. So negative means that there is a loss and positive means there is a profit. So I'll add one more column for my analysis, which is the profit status column, whether the deal is a profitable deal or is a loss deal. So we'll add one more column, which is again a conditional column, and I will call it as a profit status. Profit status. Now I want to check on my profit. If the profit is more than 0, I want to call it as profit. If the profit is equals to 0, now everyone knows what happens when the profit and loss is 0. It is break even. Else it will be a loss. Okay, so I've defined this conditions over here. I'll click on OK. and it will do the job. So we have added 3 more column for analysis. Again, it is a textual column. It is having loss, break even, and profit. Now I'm done with this. All the steps that I've taken is here. If I want to remove any step, I can click on this. Now let's go to Power BI. So I will close and apply. I will close whatever changes I wanted to do in the data. I have transformed the data, which is now available to me to do some analysis. And now we are importing this data into Power BI. So this is how the Power BI works. First, you import our data, then you transform the data if you need to, and then you visualize. Then you start building on it. So we have loaded the data. Okay. But what you will say to me is, sir, we are not able to see anything on the screen. Like it is all blank canvas. We can see there's a blank area, right? There are some buttons over here. There are some charts over here. Where is the data? So if you can move your eyeball towards the right of the screen, right side of the screen of this panel, you will see a data over here and you will see financials. When I click on this is basically a table. It will show me all the data, all the columns which were there in the data. Okay. So can you see sales, COGS, country, date, discount band, all these are appearing here. But some of the fields are having a sigma sign. Now, why do they have a sigma? Sigma simply indicates that it is a field which is numeric in nature or quantitative, as we discussed, qualitative and quantitative. All the quantitative columns are summarized as a numerical column which can be added or to which you can apply some operations. So that is why they are having a sigma, right? But should your year should have a sigma button or not? Okay, so year is not a quantitative column, it is a qualitative column. But since it is a number, Power BI automatically consider it as a quantitative column. So here I tell you that human intelligence is superseding the artificial intelligence, the business intelligence. So human intelligence, we know that year is not to be added. So what we will do is we will categorize it as don't summarize. We don't want to summarize a year. Okay. And I'll show you why I did that. Okay. So I'm just making you understand how this Power BI works, right? When you look at date, we imported the date. It is already having the date hierarchy. So here we have the year, quarter, month, day, right? So it is called as the date hierarchy, which is an intelligent feature of Power BI. It automatically builds the date. So now we don't need the month number and month name, but it is already there. Now, where is my data? So there are 4 buttons over here. This is called as a report view. On the left hand side of the screen, you can see 4 views. So this is the report view. The second one is the table view. Okay, so when you click on the table view, you will be able to see the tables. You will be able to see the tables. Okay, and the data. So we can see the data now. Okay, so the data is now visible to all. Okay, just a minute. So data is visible. And then we have a model view. So if we have multiple tables from where the data is coming, we can create a model also. Here we have just one table, so it is not showing any relationship or any modeling right now. And then there is something which is advanced level, which is DAX functions. So we will cover it in some other forum, maybe some other session, but not now. So this is what we have done so far. We have imported the data. Now the game begins. Now this is the moment has come. This is the climax of the movie has come where we want to see how the reporting will be done. Okay, so I'm going to take you to how the reports are created and how easy it looks, huh? Something which looks easy just quickly gets our attention. Oh, it's very easy. I can do it, right? But let me show you how easy it is, right? Now, what I'll do is simply, I'll just click on sales. So it is all clickable fields over here. I'll click on sales. And as I click on sales, what do you see on my screen? Do you see a number popping up? Do you see a number popping up, which is 119 million? What is 119 M representing? 119 representing, you can see you can read it over here, sum of sales. So what I did is I just clicked on a simple field over here and it got populated as a number, which is 119 million. Now let me click on profit. These were the two figures I talked about when I was explaining about the analysis. So it is giving us one more field, which is 17 million. I just clicked on it, nothing else. 17 million. Okay, we don't know how it is coming. It is just taking a total of all the data. So this is the total sales. This is the total profit, right? Now, similarly, I click on the profit percentage also because I want to find out what is the, or I want to find out what is the units sold. What is the number of units sold? So I'll click on units sold. And 1 million is what is the unit sold, right? So it is all giving in millions. Now I'll show you how we can convert this into actual number also. But let me take one more number, which is the profit percentage. So I click on the net profit ratio. But here now as an analytical chartered accountant, our brain should work and it should give us a signal. So far, everything is fine. The sales in units, the sales in numbers, the profit in number, it is all fine. But this looks weird. 195.31% NP. How it is possible? Why we have got 195%? It is a summation of all the NPs, summation of all the NPs of 700 rows data. But we don't want a sum. What we want is an average. Correct? So here again, our human intelligence is superseding the artificial intelligence. It does by default put sum, but we want that it should be number. It should be average. So here your skills, your knowledge of the software will help you in modifying the report and making it a average instead of sum. So how do you do it? So you click on this. This is basically called as a container. Okay, so I did not do anything. This is called as a card basically. So there are different types of charts you can see over here. So this is a blank chart. We'll put that is 1, 2, 3 card. And inside the card, any number or anything can come. Okay, if I select product, which is a textual, it will show the name of the product. If I select segment, it will show the name of the segment. Okay, the first only one name. If I select country, it will show the name of the country. But if I select COGS, it will give me a total. Correct? So this is how this works. Now, how do I convert this into average? I'll just click on this format button and it will help me with this visual. And here I can just select, instead of sum, I want average. And now you see 0.28, but I want to see in percentage. So then again, I need to go to the table view. And in the table view, I'll go to the net profit column. And here we have to do a formatting. Now it can be too much of information for a 2-hour session. But yes, this is how it functions. Now we have this dashboard ready. Okay. Now, but all these numbers are there. Sir, we can do this in Excel also. We can just put some formulas and we can create this dashboard, or even pivot tables can do this. Then what is that Power BI has which Excel doesn't? इसमें ऐसा क्या बात है कि हमें Power BI सीखना है? ये तो Excel में भी हो सकता है. This is what you must be having in your mind. Now let me show you the hidden gems of Power BI. Okay. So first what we will do, we will save whatever we have worked on. So I will just call it as sales report. Okay. And I will give it as today's date. This is 30th December 24. Okay. So I'm just saving it on my desktop. So this is a PBIX file it will saved as. Once you save, it will show you the name of the report, sales report, today's date, and the time you have saved it, right? Now I'll show you something which is much more interesting. Okay. And now let me bring the map visual. So these are the different visuals. So how many visuals are there, sir? There are 40 plus visuals which are available inbuilt in Power BI, and you can import more. If you subscribe to their software application, you take a subscription, you will be able to get more visuals when you log into your account, right? Right now, we are not going to do that. But even without that subscription, a lot of things you can do. So, and how many data source it can connect to? You said 150. Can you show us? Yes, definitely. So when you click on get data, I've already imported the data, but I want to get some more data from different sources. So I click on get data, and in that I can see a long list of applications which will help me in getting the data from. So we can get the data from Excel, text, JSON, PDF. So you can import your ITR JSON or your audit file in PDF, and you can do that analysis from here. So if I select PDF and I click on connect, it will ask me to give a PDF, and it can read the PDF, and it can do like this also. Okay. So anything that you want, if you have any data in a PDF format also, it can connect to that PDF and it can read that data from there. Okay. So it's like that. So you can connect to 150 plus data sources. Now, I'll show you the map visual. So let us click on the map. Now, if you will try it, you might not get it because there are some settings needs to be done. Okay. But I'll just show you how this is created. So this is a blank visual I've selected. It is looking like a map. Now, since in my data I have countries, so what I'll do is in my legend or in the location, I can put country. Now, as I put country, you will see something happening on the map. And do you see some countries getting populated? Now, what I'll do is in the legend also, I'll put country. So now it will show 5 countries: Canada, France, Germany, Mexico, USA with different colors. And to make them bigger, to make them look big, what I will do is in the bubble size, I will put sales. Now, this is what my visual is looking like. Okay, let me just expand this visual. So it is showing the location of my sales. We can reduce all this as per our need. Okay, so this is called as a dashboard. Okay, so what I'm showing you is a dashboard which you can present to the CEO or the management to take calls on their numbers, and I'm going to show you how this is going to become dynamic. Okay, so we have taken these things over here. It is showing what they mean. This is a map. Now I'm going to make it dynamic also, right? So let me put the category label. So now you can easily see that we are trading in Canada, USA, Mexico, France, Germany, correct? Now, suppose you say, sir, this is the total sales. I want to see the sales by country, or I want to see the sales by segment, or I want to see the sales by product. Is it possible? Now let's see the magic. So I will select a filter, a slicer, and it will help me with whatever filtration I want to do in the data. It is the aggregate data. So first I would like to see the data as per year. So I'll select date. From the date, I'll select year. So now there are only 2 years available in this data, 2013 and 14. When I click on 2013, which is already selected, I guess, or I can change this format. So let me just change in the slicer setting, and let me click as a tile. Okay, now so they're showing 2 numbers, 2013 and 14. Let me click on 2014. Now, do you see the number changing? 92 million, 13 million, 861K. Okay, when I click on 2014, 2013, again 26 million. So the 119 million sales breakup it is giving, and even the profit, it is changing just by clicking a button. Okay. Now, similarly, we will select the countries also. So I'll select one more slicer from the list, and I will select a country's name. I'll add the field country here. Now I have all the countries' name: Canada, France, Germany, Mexico. Now I want to see only the sales of Canada. So I click on Canada. In the map also, you will see only Canada. And on the top, you will see all the figures belonging to relating with Canada. Similarly, I will introduce one more filter for the segment. So this is, I am just giving you an idea of what Power BI can do to your data. So we will select segment now. So I can just type in the segment and now it will show me the segment wise data. So I want to see what is the sale in the government segment for in the country France. So it is showing me that the sale is 12 million and it is moving the map from Germany to France. Okay. Now there are some products also. So I'll select the product. So we will select product as well. So these are the filters. Okay. So you can put the filters as you want and we can select whatever product we want to look at now. Okay. So we can just move it a little bit top. And now we can see all the list of the products. Suppose I want to see Montana. I click on Montana. It is showing 1 million sales in France. What about Canada? It is just 830K. What about Mexico? It is 665K. What about USA? It is 1 million. Now we had created a field of lot size also. Now let me see how the lots are doing. So I'll just select one more slicer over here. Okay. So I can reduce the size of the map. This gives me more space on the dashboard. Now I'll click one more filter and now I'll put the lot size over here. Lot size. So it is giving me lots. Okay, let me remove all the filters. So it will give me all the three options. Yeah. So now I have the three options, which is the large, the medium, and the small lot. Let me reduce the size. Now, suppose I want to see the details about large lot. So this is the large lot, 1 million sales. Medium lot, 61 million sales and 26% profit we are earning. And small lot, this is the small lot statistics. Similarly, you want to see what is the profitable. Now, this is one example. Okay. Now, what I love about Power BI, so we can call it as a sales dashboard or sales report. Sales report. I not formatted it right now, but now something which is my favorite in Power BI. Okay, and you will also love it, which is not there in Excel. So which is the tree map. Okay, so when you click on tree map, what it will do is it will divide your sales into different categories and it will show what portion of your sale is contributed by what. So let's say in the category, we select country. And in the details, we select segment. And in the values, let me select sales. Now, it has given me some different colors visuals over here, which is USA. First is the USA, then France, then Germany, then Canada, then Mexico. Now, why they have come in this order? Okay. Now, let us do one more thing. Let us create one more table, which will show me the country-wise sales. So far, I am not knowing the country-wise sales, right? So let me create a card which will give me the country-wise sales. So let me add country and the sales. Okay. Now, do you see the country-wise sales here? Okay. Canada, France, Mexico, USA, like that. And let me format it a little bit so that they are easily visible and they have a bigger font size. I don't want to see the sum of sales. Yeah, I already know it is a sale, right? We can put the country and the sales. So we can say sales, country-wise sales, country. We can increase the font. We can put a background color if we want. And I can also increase the font size for this as well. Make them bold. the numbers, okay, and even the category. So the category was the country. So you can beautify your chart or whatever you want to do, you can do that, okay, and that will help you in you can put a divider also. That's it. So now what we will do is we will increase the size of this also so that the countries and sales are now visible. Okay. So we can see the country and the sales clearly. Now, if I click on any particular country, let's say France. Okay, it is highlighting only the France. So in the France, with the total segment, the total sales is 2 crore 43 lakhs. You can say 243 million. Okay. But that is divided into different segments. So which is the segment which is giving higher sales? This government segment is giving the higher sales, then the small business, then the enterprise, like this. So now I want to see the segment wise sales also. So I can again bring one more chart. So I can copy this same visual, paste it over here. And inside that visual, I can change it to include, instead of the country, I can say, just give me the segment wise sales. So we can add segment. So now it is showing the segment wise sales. So it is the country wise sales, it is a segment wise sales. So total segment government is this. So now it is going to highlight all the government segments. When I click on small business, it is going to highlight all the small business. And you can see the small business category, we are doing the best in USA. USA is on number 1, right? So this is how you can have different segmentation also. So this is the segment reporting. You can say segment wise sales. Segment wise sales. Secondly, suppose I want to find out now one more chart I'll show you, then I'll move to AI and then AI part, and we will be taking the question answers Q&A in the end. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat and in the webinar panel, and our team will discuss the questions. They'll put the questions to me and I'll answer those questions. Now let me show you one more chart. Suppose I want to see what is the contribution coming from different products. So I want to create a pie chart. So I can just select a pie chart from here and I can add the product over here. And I want to see how much sale the product is contributing to. So in the values, I can put sales. So now it is giving me the product by sales. So this chart is now giving me the product by sales. Okay. And we can work on the graphics a little bit. So let's say I want to increase the label percentage. So 15 maybe. Yeah, so now I'm able to see, and I want to see the names of the product along with this. So I can include the name of the product as well. So category and percentage of total, we can say. Yes. So this is giving me like the products which I'm selling is Passio. So Passio is contributing 20% in sales. VDD is contributing 17%. Velo is contributing 15%. And now I want to see in what country the sales are happening for these products. So I can add a slicer for country. So this is a new avenue of work for the chartered accountants into practice, or if you are into consultancy also, you can bring this Power BI into your office and put it for work. Even those who are into practice, you can also visualize your own data, your practice data, your client data in your firm, and you can see where your business is coming from and how you are catering, what services is offering, how much revenue and all. Suppose I want to see the ratio of the sales of the product in Canada. I click on Canada and you will see the pie chart will change. When I click on Germany, again, the same, the pie chart has changed. When I click on Mexico, the pie chart has changed. When I click on USA, the pie chart is changing again. Okay, so this is how you can have a distribution of different things. Okay, okay. And secondly, you can have the segment wise bifurcation also. So suppose I want to bring it segment reporting. So I can include the segment aspect over here. I can put the segments. And when I click on any segment, let's say government, again, you will see the pie chart changing. Okay, so this is how it is working. Now, let us come to the interesting part. So this you can say, this is a pie chart. So I'll just name it as a pie share in revenue of the products. Now, how important a consultant can be to a client, this page is going to show. The next visual which I'm going to create is going to become the USP of this session, I can say. Okay, so you have to pay attention now, since we are almost reaching to the end of this session in next 20 minutes. Okay, so this is something which I personally like the most, and which is the USP of Power BI as well. Okay, now let me show you something, and you might not have seen this earlier. Okay, so this is a scatter chart. Okay, this is the best chart in Power BI because it has some animation feature also, which other chart visuals do not have. And a lot of insight you can get from this chart. So what I've done is I have created a scatter. Now scatter means distributed. Okay, so we want to see the distribution of sales of various countries, products, segments, how the sales and profit are correlated. So on the x-axis, I'm going to take the sales. On the y-axis, I'm going to take the profit. So on the x-axis, I'll put sales. On y-axis, I'm going to put the profit. So now what you see is a small dot. Can you all see a small blue color dot over here, right? So let us increase the size of this dot. So I'll go to the format. So all these buttons are for formatting, other work they are doing. So this brush is for formatting. So when I click on format, it will ask me about the category label. I can put it on. So it is blank right now because there is no category I've given it to. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to increase the size. So to increase the size, I have to give some reference. Okay. So size, in the size, I'll put, let's say, sales or units sold. Now, if I put units sold, it is giving me one bigger dot. So now what it is having the three parameters. Total sales 118.72 million, profit 16.89 million, units sold 1.12 million, right? So it will not show as a number over here, but when you hover over this dot, it will show. But this is only one big dot, right? I want to see the country-wise positioning of sales and profit. I want to see the country-wise positioning of sales and profit. So what I am going to do now is I am going to put some more data into this chart. And how do I do that? When you click on build, there is an option of legend. So in the legend, we are going to put country and see what happens when I put the country. Now the one bubble, one big circle which you are seeing, now it is broken into 5 big balls, big bubbles, right? And I'll just put the legend on. I'll just put the category label on and let me make it bold so that you can see the country names as well. So now we can see the country names as well. Correct? Now, creating visual is not the purpose of Power BI. We can create visuals in PowerPoint also, but analysis is what is the crux that we are looking for. So how do we articulate the story? Now you have to tell the management, what does it mean? Why the France is on top and the Mexico is at bottom? Why the USA is on the right hand side and the Mexico on the left hand side? This what we should know and interpret. So as already we have been very good at numbers, but are you good at visualizing, looking at the chart and finding out the result? Finding out the result. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to read this chart and I'm going to help you with that. So suppose I put my cursor over here. What do you see? That the total sales in Mexico is 209 million. Okay, sorry, 20 million. Yeah, 209 million. And the profit is 29 million. Okay, and the sales is 2 million, right? Units sold. Now, when I click on France, when I go to France, you will see that the sales, okay, here the sales was 21 million, near about. Here it is 24 million. The sales is more. That is why it is towards the y-axis. Here the profit was 2.9 million. Here the profit is 3.8 million. So they are on the higher scale when it comes to y-axis. On the right hand side, where they're coming to x-axis. Okay. So you can tell the management that, see, your Mexico country is not doing good. Mexico country is not doing good because there is less sales and there is less profit. Even when we talk about USA, it is giving good sales, but the profit generated is not that good. Which countries are doing good? France, Canada, and Germany. But is it the same when we talk about the different segments? So now let me add some filters on it and let me put a segment over here. So this is what we need to learn how to analyze the data. So now I'm adding segment. So these are the different segments we are catering to: channel partner, enterprise, government, and all. Now, when I click on government, do you see the positioning changing? The position has changed, right? USA, which was the highest sales generating, the second highest sales generating country, now it has come to the bottom. Mexico has moved to the top. So that means the scene is not same in all the segments. The government, the player is France and Germany. Canada is on third position. So you can see the ranking also. When I click on small business, now you see USA on top. So that means USA is doing better as compared to any other country in the small business segment. When I click on channel partner, again, Canada is on top. So if you are able to show all these insights to your customer, to your client, don't you think he will be able to work on it and generate more profits, more sales, do a business in a very better way, much better way? Okay. And not only this, if you can give the detail about the product also, okay, because product are the lifeline of the business. So if we include one more slicer for the and bring in the product, you will be able to see the chart from product point of view. So suppose I want to see umbrella. So here, umbrella is only selling in USA, but it is having very less sales in Mexico, France, Germany, Canada. They're not even half of what it is being sold in USA through the channel partners. If you look at the enterprise, the story is different. Germany is leading there. If you look at government, again, France is leading USA as the back end. When you look at the mid market, USA has come on top. So this is how we can play with the data. Not only this, not only this. Now, what do you think that the every month the data will remain same? No. So now what I'm going to show is going to blow your mind. Okay, this is going to be exceptional. What you're going to see. This is the feature which I love the most about this visual. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the month in the play axis. We want to see how the sales are happening over months. So I've added the month in the play axis. Okay. Now, when I click, so what you see is the December month sale for all these countries. Okay. This is the placement of this country for the December month. Now, when I click on this play button, what do you see? You see that when I click on the play button, the month changes. So now it is March. Okay, when I click on the play, now it is June. So quarter wise, we are getting the results. Okay, and then October, December, like that. Okay, so if I add the month, the days, it will have a day wise. It will have too bigger to play. So I think that will not work. So we will not put day, but we'll put, let's say, let us put the month name and now click on OK. So December, June, March, October. So this is how we are getting it. Okay. So you can see, and when you click on any particular country, it will show you the tracking also. So from here to here, this particular country has moved. Okay. So this was the position in the month of March. This is the position in the month of October, in the month of December. Okay. So you can see from where we have come. Similarly, Mexico, you can see how the countries are moving, progressing as the months are progressing. Okay. So this is really interesting visual, and this is how Power BI can help you create different visuals. So this is the uh, movement of sales and profit amongst movement of sales and profit, you can say. All your sales and profit are getting moved by different countries, different positions, and all these things. This you can find out by creating these charts. So a lot of analysis can be done in Power BI. And the last part before I close this session, which is the AI, inbuilt AI feature into Power BI. Okay. This is the last thing that I'm going to explain, and then we'll take up the question answers. So now, as I mentioned, that you can interact with Power BI through the questions. Okay. You don't have to create any charts. So it is showing some suggestions based on your data. Okay. So let us look at these suggestions. So let's say most recent financials. We want to see the most recent financials. So click on that and let's see what do we get. So it is giving us the uh, latest financials. Okay. For the latest month, which is the December month. Okay. So it is giving the most recent financials, which is the entire replica of the data for December 2014, because the data is belonging to 2013 and 2014. Then let's say I want to ask the country-wise sales. So I'll say country-wise sales. So it has given me a chart. It has created a chart for me, which is showing that US is on top, then Canada, then France, then Germany, and then Mexico. If I don't want country-wise, but I want the segment-wise, and that too not in a bar chart, but into a, let's say, now it is giving country and segment both. Okay, so this I want in pie chart. So let's say pie chart. Now we are getting a pie chart. Okay, or if I say a donut chart, so it is going to create a donut chart. I have to remove the word pie. Okay, donut chart. So this is what we are getting. And now let's remove the country also. So it is the segment-wise gross sales through the donut chart. Okay. Now let's say top 5 products. Profit-wise. So these are the top 5 products. It has taken units sold as well as the profit. So Pasio, VTD, all these things. So I'm just typing the questions and I'm getting the sales. Okay. Now, if I say sales across countries in map. So it will create a map now and show the sales for different countries. So which we already created, but yes, this I created manually. Now it is showing this. Okay. If you don't want to see sales, if you want to see profit, you can type profit. So this is because of AI feature of Power BI. Okay. And if you want to see what is the total unit sold in 2014, so you say total unit sold in 2014 in all countries. So it has given you. If you want a table, you can say table. So it will give you a tabular format. So this can be done in pivot table also, but we cannot just do this thing in simply in that format in Excel, where we type and we get the result. Okay. So this is what is Power BI for you all. Okay. So I think now you must have got a fair idea of how you can use Power BI and how it is important and how it is useful, how we can create these kind of visuals, and we can have a new line of value addition for our clients and new line of business vertical for us. And a lot of people are working on this data visualization and reporting on MIS. Okay. Simply, you can share this with your clients in a PDF format. So if I click on save as export as PDF, I'll be able to export it as a PDF, and they will be able to see this report. So this, no charges involved, no fees, no subscription you have to do. But when you want to use it online and you want to give it a as a feature wherein a data, as you change the data, it get updated, then maybe you have to buy a subscription, a monthly subscription, which is not that costly, but you can go for it. So here we can see a PDF report has been created, and you can share it with your client as well. So I now hand over the stage to the coordinators, and if we have any questions, I would love to answer them.
So we are sharing some questions over the chat.
Okay. So yeah, I cannot see any questions in the chat box. If you can read them out, it will be good. Or if you can give me the access to the chat, because on my panel, I'm not able to see any. So I hope this session has helped you. So now we have got some questions. Let me take up these questions. How does storytelling improve decision making in financial analysis? Yes, a very interesting question. And see, yes, as I showcase you that when you put storytelling into a visual format, it will actually help you in taking decisions. See, when you look at the numbers, you'll not get to see a picture, a overall holistic picture of the how the business is being done or how the segments are doing. But when you see a visual representation, a chart or a graph or a line chart, you will be able to see that the graph is going up. You are seeing a smooth growth. If there is a decline in a particular month, it will show a negative, a slide coming down. Okay, the line coming down. So that is how you will be able to take better decisions when you are coupling up your reports with the visuals. So definitely visual storytelling helps in decision making through representing your data in a visual format, which is much more easy to comprehend and then take further decisions on it. How can Power BI enhance financial data analysis for CA? I think the same question I've already answered. So when you use Power BI for analysis, I just showed you different charts and graphs. When you actually start using it on your data, you would be able to find out yourself how it is helping you in your analysis. You can do various calculations here. You can find out various ratios. As let's say, if I'm talking about a chartered accountant to practice, you can see month on month how many clients you're onboarding. So you can create a chart for that, and you can see the revenue obtained from your existing clients on the basis of tax audits, on the basis of GST audits, on the basis of compliances, on the basis of MCA filings. So you can create your own dashboard and you can support it with the data at the back end. Once you update your data, it will automatically update your dashboard and you will be able to take a better decision about your own growth and about the way ahead. So once we start using it, then only we can understand what is the data, how we can get benefited, right? So if you just look at it, you will not be able to get a proper picture it. I will suggest everyone to start using it. Once you start using it, you will have a lot of ideas around it, how you can use it for your analysis. A lot of resources are available online to learn about it. And you can go to that resources. You can download a lot of books are available on Power BI. A lot of videos are there on YouTube. So you can browse them and you can start learning. The best way to learn is to practice yourself. So you have to download the application, start using it. Then only you will be able to get a hold of it. Yeah. So any other questions?
Any other question for sir? I think there is some technical glitch with the questions. Otherwise, this is a very important and a useful topic for everyone. So, it has been an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on art of financial data analysis and storytelling using Power BI for chartered accountants. On behalf of the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, CA Alok Sethi sir, for his enlightening session. A special thanks to the event enablers from the Jhansi branch of CIRC of the ICI who enabled the webcast throughout. A wide round of applause and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICI, our today's speaker CA Alok Sethi sir, and other stakeholders who made the webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and helping us make this webcast a grand success. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you again, PSCC, for having me here. And thank you, Ranchi Branch, for being the enabler for this session. And I hope all the participants who watched the webinar had got a great insight on how to use Power BI. And I wish you a very happy and progressive new year as we are marching to 2025. And I would like you to work on your skill enhancement and learn technology and adopt it. It is not a enemy, it is a friend indeed. And as I already told that no one can replace the human intelligence that we have. We just have to keep polishing on our skills, and that is what this committee is doing and institute as a larger body is doing for the members. So I'm grateful for the organizers and making me a part of it. Thank you.